Hello, dear. Just wanted to start. If we could mute the background noise, would be great. I want to welcome everyone to the new group. It's actually a webinar for Russians we've been doing for a while, but for English speaking, it's just launching a new system over here. So hopefully with the recording that we will have, people will have access to it and will understand what's exactly flying in our groups. Are you able to see me and hear me well?
Yes.
Yes, Yelena, I don't see you really well. If you could just, yes, lower your camera so I could see your face, dear. Would be beautiful. Thank you so much. So basically the whole idea that I'm trying to sell on over here is that we are ladies and we possess an amazing tool. It's called emotions. And sometimes we are not exactly operating in the most effective way, so it serves us in the most productive and the most efficient and beneficial way. So what I do in past maybe 8 years specifically, I gear my focus on the fact that we are abundantly provided with emotions, especially women, men as well, but we generate emotions. We accumulate emotions, we transform emotions, and we're able to utilize it. It's kind of a certain currency that we possess, we have, that could feed and nourish and provide abundantly in all the areas of our life, including children, success, good relationship, abundance of wealth, good friendship, whatever you desire and wish. In my opinion, it comes from knowing your emotional world, knowing how to deal with emotions, and knowing how to transform it. So there are different ways of communication that usually happens when we face, experience, and observe an emotional contact, an emotional feel that we experience. It could be that we react to what we feel. Let's say something caused me to react angry and I shoot it out. Then I could observe and I could be more of an observer instead of a reactor. That's another way. But the most mature and the most amazing way is to learn to transform emotions, is learn to how to welcome them, not to be scared and not to be afraid and not to be unequipped in how to deal with it, but learn to transform it. So far, is it clear? Do you understand? Do you have questions? I'm able to, you could interrupt me at any time. You could tell me, Miriam, please stop. I didn't catch that phrase or that point that you were trying to communicate here. So I'm rather open to speak to you than speaking from myself. Anyone who has questions or wants to make a point, raise your hands and I will know you are here with me. Okay, so far, Tamara could hear us, right?
Да, Мари. Мирим, я быстренько скажу, потому что эмоция пошла, и уже мое body tense, и как успеть трансформировать.
So she was trying to say that she feels already emotions because the way it works, whatever we speak about, we actually call it out. We make it happen. There will be a bunch of emotions popping out, even without anyone causing it. Within the next 3 days, you will deal like with bombarded emotions and you will you wouldn't know what to do with it. So right now she's asking, right now I feel a little tense. I feel it's out of nowhere. Nobody is causing it, but I feel the tension. What do I do? So it's a good question. The methods and techniques that I teach most of the time is number one, not to be scared. Number one, any emotion is good for you. Fear, anger, aggravation, depression, all those negative, so to speak, emotions could be utilized and could be used towards your need. Tension, depression, as I mentioned, a lot of emotions do not serve you because you're scared of it. So I just want you to relax breathe deep from your stomach and just say, yes, I'm welcoming it. It's a raw emotion. It doesn't need to be labeled that it's bad, even though I am accustomed to label it, oh, it's not good for me, I need to push it away, I need to redirect my thoughts. How we do it, we suppress it most of the time. Bad emotions, we try to suppress, or we try not to express it. Let's say you just made up with your husband and you want to control yourself. In other words, never control your emotion. This is a bad technique. You need to let it go through your body. You need to breathe it through your body. You need to recognize, give it attention. It's like a child that is annoying and seeking attention. The same with our emotions. Our emotions is like a loud child that is just annoying and all over your face and wants this and this and this exactly at the time when you're the busiest and you're totally taken by something more important. So emotions have the same behavior, so to speak, the same attitude. They express in the same way. Instead of saying, no, shh, be quiet, we'll talk about it later. Instead of shoveling it in, you need to give yourself time, sit on a comfortable couch, just breathe in and welcome that emotion. Give your total time and attention. So right now, I want you to welcome. I don't exactly know what emotion it is. I don't need to know what's causing it. I have no clue. I don't need to blame myself or others for making that emotion happen. That's a wrong direction. We don't want to find a cause of it necessarily. We just want to allow it in. That's the first step. So the way I would suggest, close your eyes if you're able to, turn your phones off when that emotion pops in, turn the TVs off, whatever will disturb you, and just 5 deep breathing in, starting from the stomach. You just you fill up your stomach and you kind of blow in as a balloon. And you hold your breathing in, and then you slowly and very gently, the key word is slow breathing out. Exhaling and exhaling, inhaling and exhaling should be extremely smooth and very slow. And both by inhaling and exhaling, you should hold on at the end. Just hold on to your breathing in and then let go. So by letting go, you also hold on. Just don't do anything at the end. And then again, inhale. So if you're able to do such breathing deeply in and out, you'll see how easy those emotions will be transformed. And again, you're not pushing anything away. You're not trying to analyze. You're not trying to say, because this person is trying to annoy me again, or because I ate something that was not really good for me, or because I saw that crazy movie last night, or because you're not trying to create a story about it. You're trying to help yourself, to nourish yourself with something that is beneficial for you. So I hope it was clear, Tamara, yeah?
Да.
Beautiful.
Очень.
Okay, excellent. So that's one of the technique. When you sometimes with anxiety or sometimes with fear, some people are not comfortable staying at home alone, even if it's a small apartment or very, so to speak, gated house and you have very close, reliable neighbors. Do know what causes you discomfort. Again, some people scared of fear, of heights, some people scared of dark, some people scared of staying alone, some people fearful when they enter the big crowd of room with a lot of people. Some kids get very uncomfortable when they enter big stores, busy stores where there's like huge announcements going on, airports. I want you to know that you are, as a mother and as a grandmother maybe, or a grandmother to be, your job is not to suppress it. Never suppress any child's emotion. Never suppress anyone's emotion. Let them talk it out. Let them say exactly how you feel. Where do you feel tension? Where do you feel you closed up? What do you feel like? Do you feel like coughing? Do you feel like crying? Mommy wants you to cry. Mommy wants you to let it out. Let mommy scream it out. Maybe you feel like you want to scream it out. Each child needs to be okay with whatever emotion they feel. Usually what happens, I was dealing with this one particular mother. Her child is, at one point, she was not happy because she vomited in the public, and since then she was very fearful. Whenever she had cold or cough, she was extremely uncomfortable being around people, and in order to overcome that fear and discomfort, it took a while. So the first step is to say, it might happen and nothing will happen to me, even if such thing will happen. And again, breathe in and out. Yes, such thing is welcomed. It's okay. I allow this to happen. Nothing bad happened to me, even though I thought that created discomfort for a lot of people. But you need to give time and gradual sinking in. That emotion, what happens is, if it gets suppressed, it creates blockages in our body. It creates allergies. It creates inability to communicate openly. It actually changes the quality of your voice. It changes the quality of your flexibility in your body, especially joints. Whoever is suffering with shoulder pain or neck pain or knee or anywhere around the arms, this is suppressed emotions. This is basically, if you imagine in your head, you have like 5 children that never were welcomed with their misbehavior. They were never took as kids. They were always accepted to be grown up, to be polite, to be up, kind of fixed and formatively expressed in schools or at home. They were never allowed to be expressed naturally as kids, or hardly ever. So that discomfort lays on your body. And that's why another part, which I strongly suggest, the reservoirs for most of emotions are our organs. Besides the fact that there are blockages in our body, and you could easily pinpoint by some people where those blockages are, that also those emotions get collected in different parts of our organs. Now, each organ has its temperature, has its nature, has its ability to function, and due to its ability, it's also has tendency to collect those unexpressed, unopened up, uncommunicative emotions. So we're not going to detail speak about exactly which organ is connected to which emotion. For example, anger is very much connected to liver. And if a person is naturally very passionate and very impatient, very perfectionist and judgmental, etc., your liver would need your attention throughout your life. So whatever you eat, you are conscious about what you eat for liver, how you sleep, what you look at. For example, green color is very cleansing for liver. You want to wear more green, you want to be around green trees, you want to be around kind of natural colors setting, natural from nature. So this is just a glimpse of nature of each organ. But I'm mostly interested to go a little further. What does that mean, expressing your emotions? And that's where I want to stop. What it means to express it fully and not express it fully. Before I go into it, I want to take your questions if you have any.
So just a quick question, these blockages that you're talking about, the transformation would alleviate these blockages?
Basically, your body naturally is fighting it. Your body wants to create attention, so you look at it. And instead, we take Advil and Tylenol and numb our brain to signal, let's say, I have a neck problem, yeah? Or I have a shoulder problem, because it's annoying us. But really, your body is smart enough to signal, look this way, do certain exercise, allow the release of energy in that area. We're not sometimes aware that there is tension, unless somebody who is tuned in is able to look and say, you have some gray area in this part of your body, why don't you do yoga or Tai Chi or certain sets of movements in order to let go of that tension? I strongly recommend most of people that come, both in Russian and in English, to go through Tuina massage. It's a Chinese, similar to shiatsu, but a little bit different. Basically pointing different areas, allowing the life energy to just flow naturally. Most of us do have blockages, but we need to do the movements in a very wise and very, it's not just exercise. In order to move the energy, to move the blockages, you either work emotionally or you work on the body. So what I would suggest, I would say, yes, there is an emotion blockage, but it landed here. So help yourself, accept it. Yes, I'm angry person. I get irritated easily. I react easily. I shoot out my opinion easily. Or I'm more on a passive side. I suppress it. I try to be polite, but that anger eats me up from inside. So the organs need healing. The organ needs attention. The massage or eating right or transforming your emotions, knowing how to deal with them, all that will release the blockages. Did I answer your question?
Yes.
Beautiful. Okay, anybody
What was
else?
the name of the Chinese? Sorry, I just didn't hear. What was the name of the Chinese? You mentioned it's not shiatsu, it's what?
Tuina. I have a master that I recommend in Toronto that is amazing with Tuina massage. Really, really good. He himself is a Chinese person and he's amazing. So if you'd be interested, this is something that I would recommend. Just generally, we all need to have our body worked on a regular basis. And he would recommend, let's say you need 2 sessions. And to some people, he would say you need 1 is good enough. He also does acupuncture as well. And he does herbal prescription. So basically on your tongue and on your pulse, he will be able to sense where in the body there is accumulation of those blockages. But mostly it's not because we eat not well, that too. It's not necessarily because our sleeping habit is bizarre. It's mostly because we don't know how to express our emotions, mostly, especially in women. So I just want you to know the root of that problem, so to speak, right? Okay. Moving further, unless you have some questions. Yulia, any questions till now? Tamara? And who else is here? Victoria is not with us, right?
No.
Yelena, you have some questions? No. Okay. Is it understood? Beautiful.
Yes.
Okay, great. So I just want to say, what does that mean to be expressive? Because people not exactly understand what it means to fully express what you feel and how do you actually channel it? How do you say, is it the right time? Am I allowed to, let's say in a relationship, if you bring, after I describe, I would want to take your example so you master that skill, right? So if you feel uncomfortable somewhere, if somebody makes you uncomfortable with silly jokes or they're too talkative or they're too loud or you are not comfortable with just the conversation that is happening, how and what is considered to be expressed fully, so you do not suppress your emotions and you do not accustomed to shovel it in, and also what's important in the skills of good parenthood, how do you equip yourself to allow your children to be okay with what they feel, and how is it max for them to express it to the fullest. Number one, let's start with us, right? If I feel irritation, if I feel uncomfort, I have to say it. You can't just say, oh, he is my father, or he's much older than me, or this is a very respectful person. I cannot communicate to that person in such a... Who was that? What was that?
Don't know.
Okay. So everyone is...
Tamara connected with her second device.
Oh, I
But
see.
disconnected already the second one.
Oh, I see. Okay. So you need to find the ways that you do not withhold. You need to find the ways and say, I don't want to come across unfriendly. I don't want to look like I'm judgmental. But really, healthy women, especially women, should not apologize excessively. She just has to learn to express. Unhealthy woman, a woman with a lot of blockages and with a lot of kind of unhealthy organs, will feel sorry, will ask for forgiveness excessively. That's a sign of unhealthiness. We should be naturally happy to express how we feel. We should come, hug, and say, don't take me wrong, but that's how I feel. That's a natural, normal, expressed communication. I don't want to take it too long. It says actually in the Zohar, in the Kabbalah, that you should not go to sleep with an emotion that was not expressed, that you experienced that night, unless you either spoke to God about it openly with the loud voice, loud enough voice that you heard yourself. Let's say you got offended at your father or your boss at work or your older son, and you didn't exactly knew how to communicate it. So before you go to sleep, you just say out loud to God, I expressed that emotions, I had it, I felt it, my whole body felt it, the sensation of it. It was vibrating, that emotion, but I wasn't able to communicate for whatever reason. But I want you to know I am planning to express it. That's called cleansing. That's called you are allowing it anyways, either to God or just in nature or through a walk or somewhere. You just express it, even if you were not able to express it to a person directly. It says there are gradual kind of a stuckness of emotions that get stuck to us in a very unhealthy way. If you didn't say it or you didn't find the ways to say it right away, then the next step is by the night, before you go to sleep that night, or the next step is within 3 days. Within the 3 days, you kind of bubble with it, you cook with it, and you're not able to express it. So you know it will be dormant in one of your parts of your body, and then the next thing you know, you either gaining weight or you sensitive to certain food, or you have created unexpected some discomfort in the body. All of a sudden your knee doesn't bend as easy as it used to. Something all of a sudden accumulates and becomes kind of a heaviness on emotional level and on a body level. So the normal thing is to right away, when you feel something, stay put with it, stay observant. Right now I'm experiencing, my whole body feels either happy or unhappy or sensitive or misunderstood or mistreated. You have to find in a very soft, gradual, not apologetic, not pitying yourself, but in a more gradual way, you have to find how to express it to that person. Is that clear, or it's not that understood what I was just saying? Now, a lot of times, if I don't see all the hands. Tamara, if you have a question, just ask, because we don't see you. So a lot of times, let's say you feel like you love your child, but because he was not behaving or she was not behaving, you feel like you need to act out like a strict mother and make this face. And even though you have that sensation of just running and kissing your child, you still withhold that emotion in making that point. Or you just had a fight with your husband, but you are bombarded with that feeling that you are warm, you feel warm towards him, and you love him, and you want to come and hug him, and you withhold it. The good feelings, together with the negative feelings, are also not healthy to withhold. You have to learn to communicate them. You have to say, even though you don't deserve, but I'm crazy about loving you, and I just want to hug you, and I just want to kiss you. That's a healthy woman. And it will be so bizarre for you to find out after we speak how inadequate you feel in expressing what you actually feel. Most of the time we analyze, is it a good time to express it? Is it the proper time? Am I in the right crowd of people? Am I doing it in the right way? Do I know how to do it? We analyze too much. Instead, we just should be that generating emotions and channeling it. Because whatever is in your house, whatever you're blessed with, is usually comes how widely and how capable are you able to express your emotions, and how good of a teacher you are for children and for your husband and for whoever lives and communicates with you daily, how good of a teacher you are in enabling to express it. Now, there's a lot of things that comes. Am I allowed to want a lot of things? I want a $7 million house. And do I express it, or I'm going to sound silly? I want to travel a lot. I want to have a body of a model. I want to be rich. I want to be sophisticated. I want to be this. Like, how far do you go? And what do you say? And how do you get expressive? Woman is generating, and she is in charge of this world. It says in Kabbalah, it says in mysticism. It's actually very much linked to Chinese medicine, where I find most of my healing advice that I suggest to people. Over there also, there's yin yang. There's a woman energy and man energy. So woman's energy is emotional. She needs to learn not to be bubbly, not to be talkative too much, but expressive. There are things that I speak a lot in my seminars. There are empty words and there are full-on words. They are different vibrationally. When you speak and you say something, they actually hit hard. They are felt in the other person. When you say, because it's nice to say, it's appropriate to say, because you're obligated to say, good morning, how are you? But you feel they're empty words. We should gather enough of, collect enough of feeling. When we speak, it should be full-on talking. It should be full-on words. Who understands what I'm trying to say here? It's not a bubbly woman that I am after. I am more a woman that feels first, knows exactly what she feels. She has a clarity about her feeling, and then she communicates. She doesn't communicate half felt, half not felt, half numbed, half shoveled, half suppressed, half unsure. She doesn't communicate that. It's better not to speak. It's better to gather the clarity. What exactly do I feel? Do I really want to be that rich? Do I really want to be that pretty or that beautiful or that tall or that short or whatnot? Yeah. Just gather. Where is that coming from? Observe the root. Where is it coming from? What exactly gives me the sensation of being rich? What is abundance to me? What does abundance truly means to me? What does being beautiful truly means to me? Get the feeling of that, what you're after. Get what stands for it for you. What does that mean to be a wise woman? What does that mean to be fully healthy mother for your child? Get that feeling. What am I asking for? Get full on before you express it. Is that clear, or I'm not expressing myself in a clear way? Who wants to say something or ask something?
I can ask.
Mm-hmm.
I have one repetitive scenario in my life.
Mm-hmm.
It actually happens pretty often, and usually, probably I can't express myself properly. So, what happens is, I'm
Now let's just stop. I hope you will remember. I want this to be a little bit of training. That self-judgment is a shoveling emotion. I can't express myself well enough. You could judge yourself or you could judge others, but do recognize that this is the character of that's emotional trait of judging. So you just say, I'm in process of getting trained to express myself full on. You hear how different vibrationally that sounds? Instead of, I'm not able to. You kind of right away create that heaviness, either on yourself or on somebody else. So rephrase that. Yeah?
Okay, so definitely I'm in the process of learning to express my feelings better, and training myself to be open to any feelings that to be able to feel those feelings in the process. So while in the process, this is the scenario. So I wanted to ask your advice how to take care next time. It's actually happening almost every day. So if I'm doing something, so first of all, I like to do stuff in parallel. Maybe that's something to work on to begin with. But while doing stuff in parallel, like something is getting cooked in the kitchen, and I'm doing something on my computer, and if my kids are home, then every few or every half an hour they want something from me, and I'm like trying to answer all those situations until it's too much. Something is somebody wants it, until the last straw, how you say. And then usually instead of calming down myself, usually I at the end I'm getting how to say
Frustrated?
Impatient.
Frustrated.
And then
Yeah.
frustrated or impatient, yeah. And then in this case my reaction, it's definitely a reaction. After all, it's not quiet. You in your classes you say like woman has to create quietness, but after all the reaction is too loud, I would say. I probably express it in some way, but not the right way.
And no,
So,
say it again. Don't judge yourself. There is too much of self-criticism. Yeah?
okay.
I am still in process. I am looking forward, training myself into more gradual multitasking and being open if I feel frustration right now. I'm okay with that. I just have to know how to express it. It's okay to feel frustrated.
Yeah.
Don't judge yourself. You don't always have to be mellow and easygoing. No, it's not a healthy relationship with yourself when you only expect from yourself mellow energies. Sometimes it wobbles. Your job is to accept a child who is misbehaving and the child who is behaving. They are children. They are your children. You're not going to say, oh, this I love more, that I love less. You accept them all. The same with emotions. There has to be a tendency. I accept all my emotions. Mature, loud, quiet, pleasant, unpleasant. They're all mine. So that is a first recognition. You accept. From that acceptance comes natural quietness. The reason why we become overwhelmed, because initially you expect yourself to be mellow. You don't expect yourself to be this way and that way. When you say it's okay to be that way, I just have to know how to say it in a jokey way to my kids. Look, mommy is losing it again. Look at that. Mommy again is multitasking. Mommy is here and there. And mommy could again lose somewhere in one point. Something either will burn or I'm going to type something on the computer. Or, if I multitask myself a lot of times, I end up doing somewhere a not quality job. So express that tension. Say it out loud. Say that sometimes it's good self-love and self-respect and self-dignity is to less multitask. Because when you do multitasking and a lot of it and bombarded with it, you end up losing it. It's okay to lose it if you accept that one of the jobs is going to be done in a lousy way. It's okay. It's not okay when you expect everywhere to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
You understand the point? If you say one of the job is going to be lousy, I'm going to maybe either make a burnt supper today, or one of you will feel neglected, or computer is not going to work the way or the speed I wanted to produce that work. Somewhere is going to be lousy, but I want you to accept it. That acceptance, that knowing creates a natural calmness and tranquility. You hear the difference?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Maybe just say it in your own words. Where was your point where you were losing it?
So first of all, I understand that multitasking is this something that is bringing me each and every time to this situation. Like somebody wants me to focus on something, and I'm focused on something else. Definitely, this is the cause. But the issue of the reason for the frustration is probably not the right expectations, right? I expect from myself to have managed it all very well, but in multitasking, that's probably one things will not be perfect, and if I accept this, then the reaction will be quieter than I have usually.
That's right.
And
you
okay.
Don't program yourself that it has to be one point will fail or be done unperfect or etc. You just accept and allow that that's a possibility. Yeah. It's okay. If I'm already stepping into multitasking, and I occasionally will do that, I just should accept that things either will be longer or not as quality or not as productive, etc., etc. When you accept it and expect it, then the calmness and quietness, you generate that energy. And I want you to know, most of the time, Lada, are you still with us?
Yes.
Oh, okay, beautiful. Most of the time, what you nourish your surrounding with is not what you're doing, is how you're doing, with what impulses. If you're doing it expecting from yourself to do it in a perfect way, they sensing your perfection, your irritation with yourself. You're mostly nourishing your kids, especially kids, until they are 10. They're very much under mother's emotions. They're very much sensing what's going on, even though she could put a dolly face on herself and smile day and night and say warm words. They are picking on what you feel instead of what you say. The vibration in the food that you cook, if you are irritated while you're cooking, they are going to sense that irritation. They're not going to sleep at night. Something will bother them. They will pick that emotional nourishment instead of, oh, look, I was responsible mother. I cooked and I cleaned and I did laundry and I prepared and we did homework on time. Nobody really needs that action if the emotions are dysfunctional. If you like a robot forcing yourself to do something, but deep inside you suppress and you're unhappy, they pick up and they get nourished from what you feel instead of what you do. That's an important factor to notice. Instead of cooking when you're irritated, say to yourself, let me just take a calm breathing in and out. Just thank God for all the abundance that I have, for this food and that vegetable and ability to cook and the gas in my kitchen. Let me just be grateful. Just sense that gratefulness inside of me and express verbally, I'm so grateful to be able to cook for my family. It only will take half a second. Just stay put with that gratefulness, with appreciation, and then start cooking. You know, it's interesting. I grew up with grandmother, both my great-grandmother and my grandmother. I specifically heard each time they put a pot on the table, they used to say the words, we are grateful to God for that opportunity. They all, especially my grandmother, She used to make up bed. She used to say those words. I'm grateful for that opportunity. I'm thankful to God. So it's like a mantra, so to speak. Tune yourself into that what you feel is more important, not what you do. We are more doers. We train ourselves. Oh, as long as I do, who cares what I feel? No, I want you to unravel that and go back and say what I feel is more important. That is a mother of the one that nourishes, the one that knows what she brings into her surroundings, what she nourishes her kids with, and her husband, and any communication. What mood did I come into this room? Am I more of a pessimistic or optimistic? Check yourself and shift that moods as much as you can. Tune in to what exactly going on inside of you. I hope that's somewhat clear.
Yes, that's amazing, and I do feel that I'm ways better than before since all those classes, your classes are going on. But you know, there is always a way to improve.
Of course,
And
it's
get better.
endless. We could never perfect that. I don't want you to aim for perfection. You could be more tuned in, more tuned out, more focused, less focused, more out oriented, more inward oriented. You always, it depends on the climate, it depends on surrounding, it depends on your cycle, it depends. As a moon, we are under moon energy a lot. We change every 2.5 days. Our whole system, our whole body, our mood changes every 2.5 days as the cycle of the moon changes. And if you notice, and there's a lot, and Kabbalah brought around the moon energy, Jewish nation is also compared to a moon. That's why we bless the moon and we reflect the sun and all that. If you notice, there is never stable one position of the moon. Moon is always changing. It's always a movement. If there is no moon, it's already going to be increased. It's going towards growing or decreasing or etc. There is always a movement. The same with emotions. That's why emotions in English comes from motion. So that's why it's beneficial when you feel something. It's better to take a walk. It's better to do exercise. It's better to do slow exercise, meditative. It's better to be motional, kind of. It's better to move your body. That's how emotions move more in a healing way, more in a productive way than just to sit on the couch and watch a movie, right? So I just want you to more and more tune into that. Anybody, do we have time, Yulia? How much time we have left?
I think we can take maybe a couple of more questions, but
Okay.
we are already after an hour.
Okay, so let's take few questions, please. Whoever wants to ask me anything, maybe about children, maybe about your personal experiences that you're going through, how to apply it. Yes.
I have a question if nobody has one.
Yes, Lada.
You're working not suppressing our kids' emotions, but recently, this past year, my daughter has been placed in somewhat of a difficult class, and one of the girls there is very problematic. She ends up having tantrums. My daughter is 9, just to remind you.
Okay.
So this girl is having tantrums, and she's actually hitting even the teachers. Last time, Eden told me that she threw some chairs, and she yelled out that she wants to die. So these are like really scary, heavy things. It's been happening apparently from the beginning of the year with that girl, and increasingly it got worse. So I noticed Eden is having more tantrums recently. And when she has a tantrum, I tell her, use your words. She's not 2 years old, you know, she's not throwing herself on the floor like a 2-year-old and having a full-blown tantrum like that, but she's getting very whiny and those kinds of tantrums. But I don't know, I think there's a suitable age for tantrums, and I tell her, you have feelings, emotions, express it, use your words. And when I heard her say, which a little bit concerned me, I'm so upset, I'm so this or that, I don't remember what it was. I think it was with regards to homework. She said, oh, I'm not getting it, I feel like dying. So I know where it's coming from. That expression, I told her right away, Mommy does not allow you to talk like that. So I don't know if I was right or wrong, but for me to hear something so negative, it scares me, to be honest with you. She's only 9. I don't want her to be exposed to such harshness and negativity. And I don't know what's going on there. I just know that she's got problems, and obviously it's affecting the classroom. So should I be limiting, I don't know, her expression of, a 9-year-old? When I heard that, I got scared.
That's right. Okay, thank you so much for the question. Number one, I want you to feel in a good way control in your hands. I want you to say how I feel about the situation. That's how my daughter will learn to take it. I cannot control whatever school decides whether they're going to let this child stay in the classroom or not. I cannot control the parents whether they're going to put her under certain therapy, or maybe she'll have a shadow following her in the classroom to make it more of a manageable setup. That's not in my control. What is in my control is to be able to relook at it and to find more positive sides than negative sides that will create a dysfunctional mommy that I'm expressing right now. I feel like I am stuck with that situation. I feel like I don't know more. I feel like I'm scared. I feel like I'm upset, or whatever. This makes all her feel the same way. So if you talk yourself into expressing, dealing with that situation, or interesting, I would think my daughter will deal with such dysfunctional behavior maybe at the older stage. But the way it's been presented, that means my daughter is capable of dealing with that. That's why she was put up in that situation, maybe for a short time. Maybe it's going to be another day or two, and this girl is going to find her other way. But for time being, I'm okay with that. That's a good teaching setup for my daughter. That means if the time came, my daughter is mature enough to deal with it. I want you to not shovel and not to suppress the fear, but I want you to express, I am fearful now, or am I able to talk myself into, logically even speaking, explaining there must be some good side to it. This girl is not going to be there always. My daughter is not always hearing outrageous expressions as such. If my daughter brings that home, I will know how to deal with it. I'm not going to react to it. I don't want you to say it. I'm not going to be fearful. I'm not going to be upset. I'm not going to be angry. I'm just going to channel my child in explaining to her. Some people say it, and it's good that they say it because that's how they feel. But what they feel right now is because there's some chemical disbalance going on in their brain. But really, people are meant to be happy. When people live here, they only think about living longer. So you create out of it an opportunity to speak about different expressions, how healthy people behave and how most of the class behave, and there are some exceptions. And even for that girl, it's a temporary state of being. Her natural state of being is not wanting to talk like that, not wanting to be so bitter and so kind of aggressive, etc. If there's some chemical disbalance, I want you to take it as more of an opportunity instead of what do I do? How do I not allow her? You know, it's your reaction is more important here. Lada, are you with me?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Does that make sense?
Do you think it would be bad on my behalf to tell her to stay away from this child?
Don't say words. First, adjust your feelings inside. First, say, why am I feeling to say stay away from her? Why am I feeling that way? Because I'm scared. Because I'm scared that my daughter is going to take it in the wrong way. Why am I belittling capabilities of my 9-year-old mature girl that she is not going to able to deal with it? I'm not going to belittle her capabilities. I think she's totally mature in dealing how to take a girl like that, not to pity her, not to look down at her, not to look like she's unwell. Just look at her. It's a temporary thing. It's like giving an example. If somebody broke their foot and for 6 weeks they are on a wheelchair, it doesn't mean that they're on the wheelchair for a lifetime. You just help them out, you support them, you make jokes, you uplift them, and they're going to be well soon. So you want to train your daughter into that mode instead of stay away, try not to connect, try not to be there. She will need to learn how to cope with such people. Why not take an opportunity now?
I don't know, because I think sometimes you need a level of maturity at any certain age, and certain things I would prefer her to avoid it as opposed to be exposed to it at such a young age. I think when she'll be older, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong about it, but certain things you want them to still live in that bubble as opposed to, I don't know.
She is already in that classroom. She is already exposed to that girl. You can't control how much she will stay away on emotional and visual level. All you want to do is to enable her to be equipped in dealing with it instead of disempowering her and giving her that no equipment, so to speak, no distooling her, if there's such a word in English, of just separating and isolating her from dealing with it. On the contrary, I would do opposite. I would say, I believe that you're totally capable. Not only say, you have to feel it. You feel your daughter is capable in coping with it in the most mature, easy, flowy, happy way. That is, she's not going to be affected. She's not going to feel sad about it. She's just going to understand there are things that are dysfunctional in the world. There are certain things. She could see different people as she walks with you. You can't just cover her face and cover her eyes. You would need to explain where it's coming from, but not in a judgmental way. In a way, what do we take from it? As a mature, grown-up woman, I would express and I would say, I want you to look at it. This person is not going to be there all the time. The only reason why they were so rough or they were so angry or why they got drunk or why they're on drugs is because they are going through some tough time. And I want you to train yourself in thinking that this is a temporary state for them. Instead of saying, stay away from people that drink, because you create more attention towards those that drink. Instead of we think we separate our kids, but we put too much attention to it. If you become flowy and easy, you create less attention towards it. I just want you to hear that difference. When we critically say stay away, we actually put more attention than we had to. Does that make sense, Lada?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so your job is to ease and flow. And ease and flow is not by crucial statements. Yes, no, right, wrong. Those statements create more attention. They pop out in the child's mind more.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else? Yes. Elena? Or Victoria?
Yeah, sorry. I want to talk about same situation. If I understood correct, so I have to pay attention more for my feelings than for words what daughter is saying. So I have to uh, become like more calm and say like, that's good, like you feel this way, or it's not good, but you have to be, or I don't know, I'm sure you can finish your homework or somewhat doing what makes you feel this way, like just I like, do I understand correct, like it's more my feelings I giving to her than and she expressed herself in this way.
But don't say words that you don't feel for. Don't express stuff that actually you, if you feel unhappy that she didn't do her homework on time, say, mommy feels unhappy about it, but I want to create comfort. I'm not your teacher. I'm not your principal. I'm your mommy. I want to be a mommy, first of all. So I know we have to do homework, but in a mommy way, not in a teacher's way. So that is honest. That is sincere talk. You are after homework, but you're not creating a made-up story that you don't care about homework. You do care, but more in a mommy way than in a requirement, systematic way. You see the difference?
Yes, but I meant at this. I didn't mean this situation, but because we were talking about this situation, I understood we have to feel ourselves first more calm and sure everything gonna be fine, nothing wrong will happen, and we have to be sure about it.
If you're commanding yourself, then you are controlling your emotions. If you're convincing, I want you to talk yourself into, everything works out for me. Everything works out at the end. I usually have amazing results. I want you to be soft instead of being like a soldier to yourself. You understand the difference? Mm-hmm. Talk yourself into, when you eat ice cream, you don't just eat all at once. You slowly eat because you enjoy it. The same with emotions. Emotions have to be slow and enjoyable. The process is more important than the result. It's not that I have to be calm and after I calm, I could speak to my kid. There is a little bit of edginess to that. Your calmness has to be soft. Calmness comes as a result of soft way of thinking, soft way of acknowledging, appreciation. What 10 things can I thank God for right now? And right away you become softer. Mm-hmm. I'm so grateful for this. I'm so grateful for that. I'm so, you sit in the car, you're grateful that it's a sunny day. You just feel the warmth on your shoulder. Just say thank you for that. That's where the calmness coming from. Mm-hmm. From appreciation. Not that you say to yourself, you have to be calm. You hear the difference? Saying it's more commanding. Talking yourself into is becoming calm. I want you to become calm instead of ordering calmness. Does that make sense?
Yes, but now I have to work on it then, right?
Again, there is edginess there. I have to work on it.
Yes.
I know my state, my natural state is loving state. My natural state is appreciative state. My natural state is letting go state of being. What is not natural is edgy, is rough, is controlling. That's not naturally me. So if I focus on natural me, find 10 things that I could be appreciative for, or find a good joke, or find something that I am not doing for myself. Am I wearing a comfortable clothes? Am I warm enough? Am I cold enough? Or I feel too hot? Or I feel, make yourself comfortable. Tune into that. I bring that example often. How many times Do we not use the toilet or the bathroom when we have to? We kind of shovel it in. I have to run. I have to pick up kids. I have to walk into the store. We do not allow ourselves to just feel ease. What does that mean, ease? Oh, I need warm socks. My feet are cold for the past 3 hours, and I ignore it. So create that ease for your body, and from that you feel calm. Not I have to be calm. I have to be happy. What makes me happy? From which mug would I prefer drinking today my cup of tea? Make yourself happy. Create the opportunities. If cleaning my house will make me happy, I'm going to do that. Talking to this friend, it makes me happy. I'm going to do that. Listening to this music makes me happy. I'm going to do that for myself. That is more softer approach than what do I do to make myself happy? You understand?
Yeah. Yeah.
Miriam, on the same token, if let's say for example, at my workplace, there is this one particular teacher that is extremely negative, and she ends up fighting with a lot of different teachers, and it's always her way or no way. Mm-hmm. And she actually bothered a few teachers, new teachers, and I actually felt bad for them. And some of them came to me to tell me, because I've been in the school for a few years, they came to me to complain about her. So mm-hmm. I listened to their complaints, and I know that as soon as her name is being brought up, it makes me feel irritated, upset, and even mad that she thinks that she can go and humiliate other teachers in front of other teachers. So if I know that person is like this, and I know that I'm going to get irritated, even thinking of talking to her to stop it, should I never ever deal with that person, or should I just be acknowledging my own feelings and, I don't know, letting it go? What would be
100%. So you, number one, acknowledge where you're holding with her or people as such inside of you. You get irritated, but you want to change that emotion to something more softer. You say, I'm irritated because I'm too judgmental, because I want the comfort for others. There has to be like a dignified system in the school. I am more edgy about it. How about I talk myself into, I don't care what you end up saying towards her or not. I just want your own judgment towards that scenery to change and adjust first inside of you. So once inside of you is a little bit softer, broader, comfortable, then you could deal with them outside. First, create. I feel that way interesting because of that certain mindset, because I'm very particular, because I'm very, in a way, perfectionist. But listen, it's all process for everyone. It's good for her to be expressive, and it's good for us to know how to react to such people. So I'm actually thankful for that opportunity to deal with people as such. Create something that will allow you to be more grateful for that. And don't talk yourself, oh, it's the best situation ever. I'm not saying lie to yourself. I'm just saying find points that are beneficial. For me, I need to look and not see at the same time certain things, or look and be wise about it, what I pinpoint for myself. I brought up this example in our Russian class. You probably will remember a few times at few different classes. There are different maturity. When you look at something negative, you could take it as is, or you could say, the way I will define it, that's how it's going to serve me and everyone. It's me who defines it and me who nourishes. If I define it and say, this is destructive, this is bad, this is abusive, etc., that's exactly what you're going to be nourished by. If you say to yourself, yes, maybe that's abusive, but I want to soften it because I want to get nourished from it in a more softened way. So she's not always going to be like that. Maybe she's going through some rough time. Maybe it's a temporary thing for her. maybe I could, with a smile, with uplifting others in her presence, will soften her. Maybe there is some sort of attention that requires a surrounding, a massive input of positivity to knock down or transform one negativity. I'm going to transform that negativity instead of react to that negativity. I'm going to master the transformation instead of just being, oh, you're shoveling into my face the negativity. I'm going to react to it to the brim of my capability. No, I'm not going to react to it. There is a negativity coming my way. I am a transformer. I know how to soothe, and I know how to make it slowly into something beneficial for me and for others. That's your job. Your job is not to take as is. You are not laying facts, and you not have to define reality. You have to redefine for the benefit of yourself and others. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's going to be hard for you because you're very adjusted to be fair, to be honest, to be sincere and a good servant of facts. And I don't want you to be that way. I want you to slowly shift, slowly. And that will, number one, benefit your health. Do you have some allergies? Skin allergies? Alada, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. I keep putting the cell phone in my ear because it's hard to hear you.
Hear. Okay.
Do I have skin allergies? No.
Yes. You don't?
I have a lot of food allergies.
Oh, food allergies. So that will gradually change if you will look at situations as such with not critical, in a good way, in a honest, in a sincere, civilized. You are a good person, but do recognize that your job is not to take it as is. Your job is to soothe it. And your job is to soothe it for your benefit. If your food allergies bother you enough, just for that sake, say, I have to not react to negativity like that. I should eventually learn to look through it. And that's how I'm able to help that person as well. That's the most kind way to help others, by seeing the best in them, by seeing that it's a temporary thing. It's just like 1 hour, 10-minute thing. They totally will overcome it. Your job is to look through it. You know, I always bring that example, how tzaddikim, righteous people, used to cure others. Baal Shem Tov, for example, the master of Hasidut, he used to look at the ill person and only see him complete. He only saw him in a perfect way. And that's how he was able to heal him. If he would focus on his illness, he not only wouldn't be able to heal, he would actually get affected by it himself. But his job was to look at negativity, to look at dysfunction, to look at some damage, and look through it with the eyes of absolute, with kind of happy eyes, with the eyes of outgrowing it, going out of it, reaching out of it, maturing it, etc. So that's where we're here for. We are here also not to take as is, but actually move away from it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. Excellent. So I want to welcome you for the next week class. Please either come yourself and send other people that you know might benefit, and maybe you'll have some questions. You could post it in Facebook or at our WhatsApp group. You could also record. I would want to hear different observation on emotional level that's going on during this week. Please be open and stay tuned. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you very much.
I hope it was beneficial.
Thank you so much, Miriam.
Thank you. All the best.
Thank you, Miriam.
Thank you, Miriam.
And by the way, if you can post it on the chat about the people that you were talking about here in Toronto.
Oh, do you mean the Twina massage? Yes, I will.
Thank you very much.
Okay, my love. It was nice seeing you. It was nice talking to you. Take care and see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Off to everyone.
Thanks. Bye. You too. To your mother, to your family, please, my big love and hugs.
Thank you. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.